Hello, welcome back to 10 at 10. My name is Michael Ramage. I'm the director of the Cyber Education Research Center here at Murray State University, and welcome back to 10 at 10. 10 at 10 is brought to you through a partnership between Murray State University, Sprocket, West Kentucky, and KY Innovation. And welcome back to 10 at 10 episode 276. It's an even number episode. So we are looking at the news of the last few days and weeks and seeing what it is that we can learn. I will go ahead and say last week we talked about some generative AI do's and don'ts. And one of the things is to be ready for the adversary. And we're going to spend a lot of time today talking about the adversary and what they're doing and how they're using AI. But I want to start off with a simple one. And it's an interesting story. There was a study that came out, the 2026 CISO survey conducted. How many they interviewed 600 participants, and the report says that the majority of CISOs, 73% in fact, of CISOs that they interviewed said that they were not confident in their ability to handle a cyber attack if it were to strike their organization in the immediate future. Now, I should give some disclaimer in this because it's not all about a technical knowledge. Do they have the technical knowledge? But it's a psychological component. And what I would say is the first time you are responding to a cyber attack, you're going to be more confident in responding to a second cyber attack. But what I would also say is that if you were able to test it, then that is going to help some of those pieces. What some of this is looking at planning, and they are confident maybe in their response plans could handle a basic, this computer had business email compromise, or this account had something simple where data wasn't exfiltrated, there wasn't a massive outage, it wasn't a massive cyber attack, whatever that means. But if it is a massive, if it is a coordinated, if it is a serious cyber attack, they're less confident that they're able to handle it. What I would say is, first of all, you don't want to ever have to respond to a cyber attack. Chances are that if you're a CISO, you probably will at some point. But more importantly, what I would say is doing tabletops. The more that you practice, the more that you're going to be prepared for the game when it gets there. Are you going to fully be prepared? No, but you can become more and more confident in your preparation. So I would certainly recommend that that you do that if that is your role, or if you're the leader of security for your organization, even if that's not a CISO title. Second article I want to talk about today is this week was the SANS Cybersecurity AI Summit, and the head of Anthropic, head of threat intelligence, Jacob Klein, spoke and shared a keynote. And actually, the keynote's available on YouTube if you want to go find it. SANS shared it out. But he talked about how AI is changing the game with the bad guys. The bad guys aren't just a person, a lone hacker. A hacker has a team of programmers, of developers working for them now, meaning AI. So there's so much that bad guys are using now with AI. So their capability has grown by nearly 50% just because of using AI. So what does that mean? It means that we're going to have to design for a stronger defense. It means that what we did even a year ago, what I said to do a year ago, isn't enough anymore. We're going to have to do more. We're going to have to keep driving about what is it that we can do to address the rising threats of hackers posed by AI. Anyway, a lot's going on there. You will know, no doubt that I will continue to talk about that one as we go forward. Same vein. I thought I would share it from another perspective. In that same vein, This article is talking about Claude Mythos, and is a signal that we are in a new frontier. There's a lot of things happening that we've got to be ready. Um, our organizations are increasing cybersecurity spending. Actually, I think it quotes in here 10% annually. Uh, that's not enough. And yeah, I sound like a homer because I'm in the cybersecurity space, so I'm telling you to spend more money. Of course, that's easy for me to say, right? But we are facing an evolution of threat like we frankly have never seen before, with the way that AI can be utilized, and the I guess the force multiplier that AI has become. And like most technologies, most things that have evolved with technology, the the bad guys find a way to do things first. The illegal means are always used first, and then the legal things catch up. Offense, bad guys have figured out how to use it first, or most effectively. Now we need to figure out how to play defense and how to protect ourselves and our organizations. There's so much there for that, and it worries me. It concerns me a lot, and but that's what we need to look at. Same thing. Banks firm up defenses as AI drives 76% of cyber attacks. 76% of cyber attacks. Actually, if I were to guess, I would have said that was low. I would think that number's even higher. AI is driving what we're doing from a positive standpoint, but it's driving bad guys. So when we're thinking about an AI supported attack, what bad guys are able to do is to use AI to not just find a company that's vulnerable, to develop a way to attack them with ransomware, or how, do I have enough data, or even actually the example that the speaker at the SANS conference shared is that here's the data that I stole. How much money should I charge them in ransom? The ways that AI is being used by the bad guys is really has to change the way we're thinking about it. We've got to think about our defenses in a different way. The threat is evolving, the way they're approaching us is evolving. Our defenses have to evolve. There's not a technology product that's going to cure this. It's got to be way more than that. It's got to be a culture of safety. Anyway, I can keep going on and on about this because there's a lot for me to work through. But let me finish with this one. This article is talking about the ungoverned workforce. Cybersecurity insiders find 92% lack visibility into AI identities. So what does that mean? That actually sounds really complicated. And let me say this a different way. First of all, there are many organizations that have AI tools, and AI tools that are even accessing core systems. 71%, I think, is what this says. 16% report that access is governed properly. I know how to give a user access. Security people know how to give users access. But what does that mean when it's not a user? It's actually an AI tool. It's an agent, or it's something else. How do they know if it's misuse? There's so many elements to this that this is a world, from a governance, risk, and compliance, a GRC standpoint. This is a world that we're not sure about what we're doing yet, and we really need to ensure that the tools that we're using are truly securing our systems against all users, all people, and all AI identities as well. There's a lot to be worried about. There's a lot of opportunity, positive opportunity as well. I don't want to be doom and gloom. This was certainly a doom and gloom type of episode, but there's a lot of opportunity as well. It's incumbent on us to find ways to address those things and to do those things in a secure manner. It's those steps and thinking about this from a process, um, kind of holistic standpoint, not just a technical solution here. That's what's going to keep ourselves, our families, and our organizations safe in cyberspace. Thank you all very much for joining in, and I'll see you next week back here on 10 and 10. Thank you. Bye.